World War II, a global conflict of unprecedented scale and devastation. On one side stood the Axis powers, led by the seemingly unstoppable war machine of Nazi Germany. On the other, the Allied forces, grappling to contain the spreading inferno. Yet amidst this titanic struggle, another power rose in the east, casting a long shadow across the Pacific, the Empire of Japan. Driven by imperial ambitions and a militaristic ideology, Japan unleashed a series of lightning strikes that stunned the world. From the ashes of Pearl Harbor to the fall of Singapore, the early years of the war witnessed a string of stunning Japanese victories. These victories, etched in history with a mix of awe and terror, reshaped the geopolitical landscape and set the stage for one of the most brutal conflicts in human history. Join us now as we delve into the heart of these pivotal battles, exploring the strategies, the sacrifices, and the sheer audacity that marked Japan's early triumphs in World War II. February 1942. The world watched in disbelief as Singapore, the seemingly impregnable fortress of the British Empire in the Far East, crumbled before the advancing Japanese armies. This wasn't just a military defeat. It was a seismic shock that shattered the aura of Western invincibility. The seeds of this stunning victory were sown years earlier. Japan, a nation with limited resources but boundless ambition, understood that victory against the Western powers hinged on speed and audacity. Their target, the crown jewel of British power in Asia, Singapore. The British, burdened by a sense of complacency and strategic miscalculations, had fortified Singapore against a naval assault from the south, a seemingly logical assumption. The Japanese, however, had other plans. They understood the element of surprise was their greatest weapon. Instead of a direct naval assault, the Japanese launched a daring land invasion through the Malay Peninsula, a move the British had dismissed as implausible. What followed was a testament to Japanese military prowess and the crippling underestimation of their capabilities by the Allies. The Japanese troops, hardened by years of fighting in China, moved with lightning speed and ferocity, utilizing innovative tactics like bicycle infantry and infiltration techniques to outmaneuver their opponents. The British, caught off guard and ill-prepared for the jungle warfare, found themselves outmatched and outgunned. Within weeks, the Japanese had advanced down the Malay Peninsula, inflicting heavy casualties and shattering the morale of the Allied forces. Singapore, once deemed an impregnable bastion of European power, was now within their grasp. The final assault on Singapore was a testament to the Japanese military doctrine of relentless offensive and their willingness to absorb heavy losses to achieve their objectives. Despite facing fierce resistance, the Japanese fought with unwavering determination, pushing deeper into the heart of the island. The British, their backs against the wall and facing dwindling supplies and mounting casualties, were left with an agonizing choice: fight on and face annihilation or surrender. On February 15, 1942, Lieutenant General Arthur Percival, the British commander, made the fateful decision to surrender Singapore to the Japanese. The fall of Singapore sent shockwaves throughout the world. It was a crushing blow to the British Empire, both militarily and symbolically. The myth of Western invincibility lay shattered, replaced by the chilling realization of Japan's military might. For Japan, the victory was a propaganda coup of unprecedented proportions. It emboldened their ambitions in the Pacific and fueled their belief in their own invincibility. However, the seeds of future conflicts were sown in the ashes of Singapore, setting the stage for a wider and even more brutal conflict to come. December 7, 1941, a date etched in history, forever synonymous with surprise and devastation. On this morning, the tranquility of Pearl Harbor was shattered by aircraft engines and explosions. The attack was a calculated gamble by the Japanese Empire to cripple the US Pacific Fleet. Japanese military planners meticulously crafted this plan, recognizing the US as the ultimate obstacle. They aimed to paralyze the American fleet at Pearl Harbor. The attack, led by 6 aircraft carriers, began at 7:55 a.m. Waves of Japanese aircraft descended upon the base in a coordinated assault. The first wave targeted the battleships at Battleship Row. Torpedo bombers unleashed their deadly payloads on the American warships. Dive bombers released their bombs, aiming for the decks and superstructure. Explosions sent plumes of black smoke into the sky. The second wave targeted airfields and strategic installations. The attack, lasting 2 hours, left unimaginable destruction. 4 battleships were sunk, and another 4 were severely damaged. Over 180 aircraft were destroyed. Over 2,400 Americans were killed, and over 1,000 wounded. The attack achieved tactical surprise but failed to cripple the US Pacific Fleet. The Japanese missed crucial targets, including the aircraft carriers. The strategic impact was undeniable. It galvanized the American public, igniting patriotism and fury. The United States, with its vast industrial and military might, was now fully committed to the war. Pearl Harbor remains a stark reminder of the devastating consequences of miscalculation and the unpredictable nature of war. It serves as a solemn testament to the human cost of conflict and the enduring legacy of that fateful day. Island under siege. The Battle of the Philippines. The Philippines, an archipelago of over 7,000 islands, became a pivotal battleground in the aftermath of the Pearl Harbor attack. For Japan, securing the Philippines was crucial to their strategic goals in Southeast Asia, providing a vital link in their defensive perimeter and access to crucial resources. For the United States, the Philippines held immense strategic and symbolic value. It was a testament to American power and influence in the region, and its defense became a matter of national pride. Hours after the attack on Pearl Harbor, Japanese forces launched a series of air raids on American military installations across the Philippines, aiming to cripple the American defenses and pave the way for a full-scale invasion. The American and Filipino forces, outnumbered and outgunned, fought valiantly but were gradually pushed back by the relentless Japanese advance. The Japanese, employing their signature blend of speed, aggression, and flanking maneuvers, made steady progress, capturing key cities and airfields. General Douglas MacArthur, the charismatic and controversial American commander, recognized the futility of defending the entire archipelago. He decided to concentrate his forces on the Bataan Peninsula and the island fortress of Corregidor, hoping to hold out long enough for reinforcements to arrive. What followed was a grueling 4-month siege, a testament to the tenacity and courage of the American and Filipino defenders. Facing overwhelming odds, dwindling supplies, and constant Japanese attacks, they held their ground, inflicting heavy casualties on the enemy. The Bataan Death March, a horrific chapter in the annals of war, stands as a chilling reminder of the brutality inflicted on the American and Filipino prisoners of war. After the fall of Bataan, tens of thousands of American and Filipino soldiers were forced to march over 60 miles to prison camps, subjected to unimaginable cruelty and deprivation. On May 6, 1942, Lieutenant General Jonathan Wainwright, assuming command after MacArthur's evacuation to Australia, made the agonizing decision to surrender Corregidor, marking the fall of the Philippines. The Japanese victory in the Philippines, while a significant strategic gain, came at a heavy cost. The fierce resistance they encountered, particularly on Bataan and Corregidor, delayed their timetable for further expansion in the Pacific and consumed resources they could ill afford to lose. The Battle of the Philippines, though a defeat for the United States, showcased the courage and resilience of the American and Filipino soldiers who fought against overwhelming odds. Their sacrifice, forever etched in the memory of both nations, served as a rallying cry for the long and arduous fight for liberation that lay ahead. The early victories of Japan in World War II were nothing short of breathtaking in their audacity and execution. They redrew the map of the Pacific, shattered the illusion of Western invincibility, and sent shockwaves across the globe. These victories, fueled by a potent mix of military prowess, strategic brilliance, and unwavering commitment, marked the rise of Japan as a dominant force in the Pacific theater. However, these triumphs proved to be short-lived. The very nature of these victories, achieved through a calculated gamble and a willingness to absorb staggering losses, sowed the seeds of future defeats. The United States, awakened from its slumber by the attack on Pearl Harbor, would unleash its industrial and military might with a vengeance, turning the tide of the war in the Pacific. The battles we've explored, from the fall of Singapore to the attack on Pearl Harbor and the defense of the Philippines, offer profound insights into the complexities of warfare, the human cost of conflict, and the enduring legacy of this global struggle. They serve as a stark reminder of the fragility of peace and the importance of understanding the past to navigate the challenges of the present. Subscribe now for more explorations of the pivotal events that shaped our world.